Below the cross that shines down on Mission Road and just a few steps from the main entrance to the Colonial United Church of Christ is the Garden of Life. It is a space that the members set aside to remember people that were important to us.
Sure. 3 years ago, our daughter passed away very suddenly. And at that time, since it was so unexpected and at a very young age, we had no plans. But Colonial was here for us.
My wife, Laura Lee, who was called Lori, she died 9 years ago. Before she died, we had already decided that we wanted to both be cremated. And then the Garden of Life was available.
My brother, Roland Tedrow, was an electrical engineer. He installed big MRIs in hospitals and medical centers. And he worked hard to make sure things were right his whole life. He died suddenly, far away from me. He was in California. It was the beginning of the pandemic. And he's younger than we are, and we didn't see it coming.
It is a place for reflection, prayer, or just remembering someone special. You can reserve a niche in the Garden of Life as the final resting place for a loved one's earthly remains.
It's important for us to have our daughter's place of rest here in our spiritual home. Certainly it's geographically it's great for us, but it's also, it feels like home.
This was in the center of the country where my other siblings could come and be with us to honor Roland's life. It was convenient. It was near Colonial Church. It's right in the front of the church. When we come on Sunday, I can come over here. I can show the grandchildren where their uncle is, and I can explain to them who he was, because he died before they got to know him. So it means a great deal to have a convenient, nearby location in a church community that we love.
This is really our spiritual community, and that it certainly, Colonial meant something to our daughter as well.
Well, it's here next to the church, and the church is so beautiful, and this is such a restful place. And having Lori's ashes here so that when I come to church, I can stop by and say hello. It's kind of cool.
When we come here to worship on Sundays, we feel like we can come and visit her.
We think it's important to have a place where Jerry and I can be in the future, and we do plan to use the Garden of Life. We also think it's important to let our children know about our plans, so that they can have some sense of the family continuity and the decisions we've made, and find some comfort in those decisions, just as we've found comfort in having Roland here.
It's very important that you have an end-of-life plan. You never know what life's going to deal you.
And it's important to be able to communicate those wishes to our family members as well.
I think it's very important for people to have end-of-life plans. It makes it easier on the loved ones that we leave behind. You know, I pride myself that when I die, my two sons won't have that much to do. They know where everything is. They've got all my plans, all my passwords, and know that all they have to do is just trigger everything and it'll work. So it should make it easy on them.
To reserve a niche or plaque, or to schedule a funeral or memorial service in the sanctuary, contact the church office.